Bruchim habayim. Good evening, everybody. To all of our friends in the back, we ask that you join us here, have a seat. We will have time to view the exhibit after our short program here. I am Libor Sinai, the Executive Director of the Jewish Lens, and I just want to say, wow. This has been an amazing journey for the last current school year, I should say, working with the professionals on the ground, who I'll mention in just a moment. But I just want to touch real quick on one of the most, I think, amazing aspects of our tradition, that is the Jewish tradition, and it is Jewish dialogue, something that exists and continues to exist for the past 2,000 to 3,000 years. We find it in our texts, we find it in our customs, in our traditions, where we are urged, actually no, we are required to interact with our way of life. We are required to ask questions, and of course we are required to interpret that which is significant to us, and that's our Jewish identity, our values, and our way of life. In fact, twice a day, we find our mission statement is required to be recited, the Shema. And that has to do with dialogue, and it has to do with learning, Jewish learning. In it we read about Veshinamtam levanecha, you should teach your children. Beshivtecha beveitecha, when you're sitting at home. Uvelechlecha baderech, and when you're walking on your way. Uveshochbecha uvekumecha, and when you're lying and when you're arising. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, we are all role models, we are all educators, we are all required to teach our children, not just in the classroom, but in our everyday coming and going. This is a huge responsibility we take upon ourselves. And then, of course, sometimes we forget, we are distracted. But I want to flip it on its head for just a moment, this requirement to teach our children. And just to say to the youth here in the room, and for those who are on their way, you have taught us. You continue to teach us. And of course, you teach your community. Looking at the photos, as I've been here since last night, and 7 a.m. this morning, I've learned a lot myself. I've learned the diversity and the colorful tapestry of Jewish life and the Jewish people. And yet within that diversity, I've been able to highlight, to actually put a finger on this common thread, the thread of Jewish life that exists throughout all the photos that you see behind you and around you, from the various schools and denominations that represent the totality and unity of Jewish peoplehood. This Jewish dialogue and Jewish learning is an ongoing exercise. In fact, it is something we must continue to take part in for our Jewish values and way of life to remain relevant. And now, the youth in the room here and the youth that represents the Milwaukee Jewish community, you have become a link in that chain of the Jewish narrative, stretching from as far back as Avraham Avinu, to Herzl, and of course to life today in Milwaukee. Yishar koach, power to you, kol hakavod. I just want to say a few thank yous that have already been mentioned, but of course require many, many more thank yous. Once again to the Covenant Foundation, Harlene Appelman and Joni Blunderman, thank you. This has been a wonderful shidduch, bringing us together with Dr. Steve Baruch, and his staff, the Coalition for Jewish Learning. We met back in August, and then I already knew that this was going to be a very wonderful experience for us all. A special thank you to all the schools, the synagogues, the rabbis, the teachers. It's not easy bringing such a community, such a diverse community together, when of course we all have our goals and our vision to fulfill. But how amazing it is, how powerful, when we can really look beyond our own desires, our own expectations, to form one unit, and to provide that sense of connectivity and belonging to our children, no matter what school they attend, or what synagogue they pray or daven in. Kol hakavod. A very, very special thank you to Kip Friedman. Kip, who has been our Milwaukee coordinator for the past school year, has gone above and beyond what was expected of him He is what I called him a little earlier before, a superhero in so many ways. Kip, it has been a pleasure working with you. In case you've never met Kip, he's been a part of your community for many, many years. He's right there. Kip, raise your hand. Okay? I urge you to thank him as well, because he's the one who ran in between the schools, made the site visits, sent out the emails, made the phone calls, and urged everyone to fulfill their promises when they became a part of this community-wide initiative. Kol hakavod, Kip. Appreciate it, everything. And now, one more thing. So, in life, every now and then, we have an opportunity to be a part of something great. The next presenter I'm going to introduce to you is the founder of the Jewish Lens, who has, in so many ways, been able to take his dream, share it with us all, and of course make it into a reality as we sit here today. Zion Ozeri, the founder of the Jewish Lens and artistic director, ladies and gentlemen, please nice round of applause.